How about this one, Shane? Texas A&M at South Carolina. Aggies favored by 3 points on the road. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on the SEC Network. The over-under 44.5. Good night. That's low. The Battle for the Bottom trophy, Shane, named after Led Zeppelin's drummer, of course. A&M has won all 8 in the series. Who do you like in the matchup?
Wait, I'm sorry. What's this trophy named again?
The Bonham Trophy.
It's not really has anything to do with Led Zeppelin, does it?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm an idiot.
That's what I always think
you.
of. The only time if I hear Bonham, I think of the drummer for Led Zeppelin. You know what?
Oh man. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, so I knew there was a trophy involved. You had me there with Led Zepp. I was like, well, maybe the trophy hasn't been around that long. I mean, they just got in the SEC. So, but anyway, brother, I think this could be a tough game to watch. Yeah, if you don't like, you go from a game like Mississippi State or Tennessee and Alabama putting all these damn points up, and then you watch South Carolina and Texas A&M. There's just going to be a natural lull to that thing. Now, could this catch fire and be a shootout? Absolutely. Anything can happen, brother. But when I think of these two programs, and the fact that it's just a field goal difference with Vegas makes me think that this is going to be a hell of a game, brother. Yeah. That this is going to come down to 1 or 2 possessions, and whoever's got control or whoever makes the least amount of mistakes in this game may walk away with the victory. And so I kind of went, this is one of those ones, brother. I went around this is the one I had trouble with the most. I'm not going to lie, because I want to believe in South Carolina. I really do. I want to believe that game against Kentucky was not a fluke, that it was a launch pad for this university to finally start putting some wins in that column, which they've done quite a bit this year. I'm not taken away from their season, but they got a tough road ahead of them, and they needed that game. And then you got Texas A&M on the other side doing the same thing, man. I felt like this Tennessee shit. I've been talking about Tennessee so much. This Texas team was in the dumps, man. I mean, everything they put out there, the product was god awful to watch. Yeah. They just weren't sexy, and to go from potentially being an SEC West champ to now just scratching and clawing to get an SEC victory. It's been a brutal run. But I think they did a lot of growing up. I know I've said that a lot because I listen to these podcasts too, Mike, but I really do think that the Aggies are back. Okay? Just not Texas back, Texas A&M back, which means they're actually going to win some games. So give me Texas A&M winning this thing 21. South Carolina loses a fumble in the last drive. Oh, no. Morristown Honda 20.
Man, you got some big time confidence in the Aggies pulling the Morristown Honda in this one.
I had to, man. In fact, there was part of me that was thinking Texas A&M was just going to blow South Carolina out of the water. Mm-hmm. In fact, I just lied about my score. I had 21-13, but the more I talked about it, I'm trying to convince myself to give you that score, and I can't. I think the game's closer than that. So It's a one-possession game, and I think it comes down to turnovers, and South Carolina gives away one more than Texas A&M.
Yeah. I think for South Carolina to win this game, Shay, they're going to need, obviously, the crowd to be in it. They're going to need something like they lead the country in blocked punts, a blocked punt, something like that. Yeah. The Kentucky game, remember they came out with a stupid trick play that blew up on them? Something like that to get you going. Now, there is some speculation, Shane. This may throw a whole wrench in your whole deal here, but I anticipate Haynes King is going to play. But there's some rumors that he may not even suit up for the Aggies, and they may have to go with the freshman Connor Wigman. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's incredible, or maybe you just never want to go on the road in the SEC with a true freshman that's never played. So who knows how that's all going to play out. But this has got to be, whoever the quarterback is, this has got to be the Devon Awchain show. You know what?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him time and time again just be incredible for this Texas A&M Aggies. We had Evan Stewart, the freshman. He really emerged against that Alabama team. He looked like one of the best players on the field. We've got Green, the freshman tight end. He's starting to make plays. A&M's defense loaded with young talent. They were making big time plays against Alabama, nearly pulled that upset on the road. How about this, Shane? If Texas A&M loses this football game,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Jimbo's going to get fired like on Sunday or anything, but
Oof.
I really think it's the beginning of the end for him because, I mean, you literally got a playoff type roster. This is totally inexcusable. So there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Jimbo. Now, on the flip side, South Carolina, you got a lot to gain, I think, from winning this football game. Shit, we went about a couple weeks ago, we're like, man, this team, are they even going to make a bowl game? You know, are they going to win a conference game? Now, I really do think, Shane, if South Carolina wins this football game, they may be headed to a New Year's Day bowl at minimum. I mean, they're going to be 7-2, 8-2 if they can beat Florida at Florida, which that's not a given, but you know, you got to like, you know, that's kind of like a toss-up type game here. So there is a hell of a lot on the line for South Carolina. There's a lot on the line for Texas A&M. Neither offense is really worth anything, and both defenses, you know, have their strengths. So I'm right there with you. I think points are going to be at a premium. Wager of the week, Shane. I got no confidence in either team to win the game, but wager the under. It's 44.5, but I'm going to wager that under. I think that'll hit, but I'm right there with you, Shane. This is a must win for A&M. So I'm going with the Aggies. Aggies 24, South Carolina 20. I didn't quite Morristown Honda this thing, but I considered it here. I think A&M has got the overall talent edge. They should win this football game. But again, would not surprise me at all if the Gamecocks win at home and move on to 5-2.
Okay, so we're both not confident in this game. Okay, Is that more because of Texas A&M or is that more because of South Carolina?
I think it's because of A&M because they just week in, week out, you just don't know what you're. Remember, we thought Alabama was going to beat them by like 40 points.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we thought they'd kill Miami. Hell, we laughed at Appalachian game. You know what I mean. So it's like you just don't know what you're going to get with the Aggies.
Is there a part of you that's thinking that this freshman comes in and all of a sudden we're like, where the hell has this kid been the entire time? Don't it just feel kind of like that type of game? Maybe.
And maybe, you know, you got 2 weeks to prepare with him.
Yeah.
For him to get comfortable with the offense. I have no idea if he was. I'm not saying he wasn't comfortable before, but you know that would give him a big leg up, I would think. So. 2 weeks to prepare for this football game. Both teams obviously have had 2 weeks to prepare, so we'll see what wrinkles. Maybe what if South Carolina, Shane? I mean, they have struggled on offense. Not the last 2 games, but excuse me, the 2 prior to Kentucky, and they really came out strong in the second half of that Kentucky game. Maybe they have started to put it together. Again, if they come out and play up to their potential on offense, they could easily win this football game.
Yeah, get a little special team turnover, like you said.
Yep.
Little beamer ball. Got to take a shot every time you hear him say that. You'll be drunk by half. But I think you're right, brother. I think there was part of that. Mine is not so much Texas A&M. Mine is South Carolina. If that second half South Carolina shows up, that was in Lexington, if they put together 4 complete quarters, and Marshawn Lloyd has a game, you know, which is tough against these Aggies,
right? Then
I can easily see not just a win, but just an ass kicking, and Jimbo potentially losing his job after this thing. That's where I go back and forth, but. You know, I've got a soft spot in my heart for the Aggies, and I've had since week 1. But after this, if they lose to South Carolina, I am never picking Texas A&M again. I'll tell you that right now. Not till next year. Not till they get a new coach in there.